Why do we fall in love? The answer Carl Jung gives has the power to change your understanding of love forever. It's not just romance or chemistry. From an analytical psychology perspective, love is a mirror that reflects the deepest and most hidden parts of your personality. Jung believed love doesn't start with the other person, it starts with your shadow. In this video, we'll break down the key reason why people fall in love based on Carl Jung's theory. It's not just psychological interest. It's a subconscious call for completion. We'll first focus on the mechanism of projection, one of the most powerful forces influencing the formation of romantic feelings. 1. Shadow projection. We fall in love with what is missing in ourselves. In Jungian psychology, the shadow is everything you displace, deny, or don't accept in yourself. These are your weaknesses, desires, fears, and traits that don't fit into the picture of yourself. But it is these aspects that are looking to come out. How? Through other people. When you meet someone who unconsciously reflects your shadow, you feel a powerful attraction. It's not him or her who is causing this feeling. It's your shadow recognizing itself. For example, a withdrawn introvert may suddenly fall in love with a charismatic and outgoing person. Why? Because in this person lives that which is displaced in himself, in which he lacks so much for inner wholeness. It's not love for another, it's a longing for yourself, for that part of yourself that you've been hiding for a long time. According to Jung, shadow projection is one of the most common causes of passion. It explains why love sometimes seems so magical and inexplicable. But here's the danger. Projection is unstable. Over time, the mask falls off, and you see not a reflection of your fantasies, but the real person. This moment is either the beginning of true love or the beginning of the end. Jung said, "True love begins where projection ends." And if you are not ready to see and accept the other without your illusions, you are not ready for love. Jung believed that inside every man lives the anima, the unconscious female image, and in every woman there is animus, the unconscious male image. These images are formed from childhood, through attitudes toward parents, cultural archetypes, fairy tales, movies, dreams. But we rarely realize them. They become the main source of falling in love. Because we don't fall in love with a particular person, we fall in love with our inner idea of him. When a man meets a woman on whom he unconsciously projects his anima, he feels a magnetic attraction. She becomes the embodiment of his soul, his ideal, his eternal woman. The same thing happens to a woman projecting her animus onto a man. He seems to her not just attractive, but meaningful. It's as if he carries answers, power, direction. But here's the trap. Anima and animus are not real people. They are internal figures that we glue onto an external person. We don't see him, but his shadow on the wall of our psyche. This is how the illusion arises that we have found the one, or the one. In reality, we have found our own archetype. This explains why a relationship that began as magic can quickly crumble. He stops being the hero. She stops being the muse. And then comes the pain of awakening, the moment when the projection weakens and there's a chance for a real encounter for the first time. Jung said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemicals. If there is a reaction, both are transformed. Only when you become aware of your anima or animus, you stop projecting and you start seeing. Not the illusion, but the person." Jung believed that within us live archetypes, ancient mental images formed by the collective unconscious. These are not just symbols. They are psychological forces that guide our feelings, desires, and behavior. In love, these archetypes are especially active. That's because love is the field where the unconscious speaks loudest. Here are the most influential archetypes that we often unconsciously project onto a partner. Mother and father archetype. If there was a lack of warmth, care, or protection in your childhood, you may unconsciously look for a parent in your partner. Not a loved one, but a rescuer. A man may look for a mother in a woman who will understand, accept, and heal everything. A woman may look for a father in a man, strong, confident, able to give stability, but sooner or later such love turns into dependence. Not a relationship between two adults, but a repetition of the child-parent scenario. Only when you notice this archetype, there is a chance to get out of the circle and build an adult, mature relationship. Archetype of the eternal child, puer, puella. These are the ones who fear attachment but crave love. They dream of freedom, adventure, and romantic carefreeness. Falling in love is easy, staying is scary. If you or your partner is living this archetype, the relationship feels like a prison. Love is perceived as a loss of self, but it is through realizing this archetype that you can mature, not in the sense of giving up the dream, but learning not to run away from intimacy. The lover, Muse archetype. This is when you are passion, inspiration, ecstasy. This energy is exciting, uplifting, makes life poetic, but it can also be destructive if there is no depth behind it. Jung warned, the lover archetype is not always a path to oneness. Sometimes it's a path to dissolving yourself into the other. If you lose your boundaries, forget who you are, then the archetype has taken you over. But if you realize it, if you know how to keep the balance between passion and awareness, then love becomes a source of inner strength. The question to ask yourself is, what archetype is driving my love? It's not about self-blame. It's about awareness. Because only when you see who is driving you, you start choosing, not just repeating scripts. Jung said, we don't fall in love with a person. We fall in love with our own projection. In the beginning stages of a relationship, we don't see the other. We see what we need to see. We paint a picture of our soul, our hurts, our expectations on our partner. That's what projection is. But there comes a moment when the projection collapses. You suddenly realize, he's not what I thought he was. She is not my muse, but just a human being with her fears and shadows. It's a crisis. And that's where most couples break up. But Jung believed this was the chance for true love. Because it's only when you strip away your fantasies that you begin to see the other person for who they are. Recognizing projections is a painful but mature act. If you think, he has to save me, that's projection. If you expect another to fill your inner emptiness, that's projection. If you want to be doled out for all those who haven't given love before, that's projection. None of this is about the other person, it's about you. And until you return these expectations to yourself, you will demand the impossible from your partner, and he will disappoint you over and over again. How do you move from projection to authentic connection? Realize what you are looking for in a partner. Not just love, but specific functions: acceptance, security, inspiration, support. Ask yourself the question, can I give this to myself? Jung once said, mature love is not two people looking at each other. It is two people looking in the same direction. What does that mean? When you have stopped projecting, experienced the pain of illusion, faced your shadow, only then is there the possibility of real intimacy. Not dependent, not rescue, but free, deep, honest. Signs of mature love. You don't expect your partner to fix you. You don't rescue him or her. You don't remake him or her. And you don't suppress him or her. You recognize differences and they don't scare you. You are capable of being alone, but you choose to be together. This partnership does not exclude conflict, but it does exclude games. It has respect for individuality and a desire to grow together. Mature love is alchemy. Jung compared it to an alchemical process. Two metals, two personalities, pass through the fire of crises to become something new. Not halves, but whole, joined in union. And it's no longer about romance in the usual sense. It's about unity of mind, body, and spirit. It's about a partnership where love is not a feeling that comes over you, but an act of will and maturity that you choose every day. And here's the key. Mature love begins with maturity of self. If you want real connection, become real. If you want to be seen, learn to see. If you want to be accepted, start by accepting yourself. This is a path that cannot be traveled quickly, but it is a path worth traveling. For behind the projections, shadows, and pain, there is more than just love waiting for us. There is a self waiting for us, manifested in relationship. Love is not a reward for right behavior. It's not magic that happens on its own. It's a mirror in which you see yourself as you are. Don't hide. Don't run. Look in that mirror honestly, because only by seeing yourself can you truly see the other. If it resonates with you, it means you're already on that path. If it hurts, you're close. If it's lonely, that means you're waking up. Share this video with others who are also searching for themselves. And remember, mature love is not a goal, it's a side effect of your inner growth. If you want to truly understand who you are and not live someone else's life, keep going. This is just the beginning. There are no random videos here. Each one picks you up piece by piece. Subscribe, turn on the next one, and stay tuned. Self-discovery isn't about inspiration. It's a choice to see, to understand, and to not look away.